For nearly a century, F.W. Woolworth was America's retail king. The red and gold signs of Woolworth's five and dime stores dotted every main street from coast to coast. At its peak, Woolworth operated over 2,200 stores and was so powerful, it built the world's tallest building just to show off its wealth. But by 1997, every single American Woolworth store had vanished. The company that had survived the Great Depression, 2 world wars, and countless recessions simply ceased to exist. The question everyone asks is, did Walmart kill Woolworth? Today, we're investigating one of the most dramatic retail collapses in American history. We'll follow the money, examine the strategies, and look at whether the blame really belongs to the Bentonville giant, or if Woolworth destroyed itself. You'll discover how a billion-dollar empire crumbled, who profited from the chaos, and what lessons this holds for every business today. The answer might surprise you, because there's more to this story than a simple David versus Goliath narrative. If you love uncovering the economic stories you slept through, the financial mysteries that shaped our world while most people weren't paying attention, hit that like button and subscribe to The Sleeping Economist. And drop a comment sharing your memories of visiting Woolworth. To understand whether Walmart killed Woolworth, we first need to understand just how powerful Woolworth once was. Frank Winfield Woolworth didn't invent retail, but in 1879 he revolutionized it with a simple idea: sell everything for 5 or 10 cents, display it openly so customers could touch it, and pile it high to sell it cheap. This concept, the 5 and dime store, became the Amazon of its era. By the 1910s, Woolworth was America's largest retail chain. The company's red-fronted stores sold everything from thread and candy to toys and kitchenware. But Woolworth wasn't just successful, it was obscenely wealthy. In 1913, Frank Woolworth commissioned the Woolworth Building in Manhattan, which at 792 feet became the world's tallest skyscraper. He paid for it entirely in cash, $13.5 million. That's roughly $400 million in today's money, paid up front just to flex the company's financial muscle. The formula was brilliant in its simplicity. Woolworth bought products in massive bulk directly from manufacturers, eliminating middlemen. This allowed the company to sell items cheaper than traditional general stores. The stores were positioned on main streets in the heart of downtown areas, where foot traffic was guaranteed. Shopping at Woolworths became a weekly ritual for millions of American families. By 1979, Woolworth's 100th anniversary, the company operated 2,200 stores in the United States alone. It had expanded internationally into Canada, Mexico, Germany, and the United Kingdom. The corporation had diversified too, owning Kinney Shoes, Foot Locker, and other retail brands. Annual revenues exceeded $2 billion. Woolworth seemed unstoppable, a permanent fixture of American life, as reliable as the post office or the corner drugstore. But here's where the story gets interesting. While Woolworth was celebrating its centennial, a different kind of retailer was quietly growing in rural Arkansas. Sam Walton had opened his first Walmart store in Rogers, Arkansas in 1962. By 1979, Walmart had only 276 stores, barely 1/8 of Woolworth's footprint. Walmart's annual revenue was about $1.2 billion, respectable, but not threatening to an empire like Woolworth. The two companies seemed to occupy different worlds. Woolworth dominated urban main streets. Walmart focused on small towns and suburbs. Woolworth sold small household items and variety goods. Walmart positioned itself as a discount department store with broader merchandise. In 1979, if you'd asked retail analysts whether Walmart would kill Woolworth, they'd have laughed at you. But within 18 years, Woolworth would be gone, and Walmart would be the world's largest retailer. So what happened? Did Walmart really kill Woolworth, or was something else at play? Throughout the 1980s, warning signs appeared that Woolworth was in serious trouble. The question is, did Walmart cause these problems? Or did Woolworth's management simply fail to see the changing retail landscape? The first major issue was location. Woolworth stores were concentrated in downtown urban areas, positioned on the ground floors of Main Street buildings. This strategy had worked brilliantly for 70 years, but by the 1980s, American shopping patterns had fundamentally shifted. Suburbanization, The mass migration of middle-class families from cities to suburbs meant downtown foot traffic was evaporating. People now drove to shopping centers and malls on the outskirts of cities. Woolworth's prime real estate had become economic dead zones. Walmart, by contrast, had built its entire strategy around this new reality. Walton deliberately avoided urban centers, instead placing massive stores on cheap land near highway exits. These locations offered enormous parking lots and easy access for car-dependent suburban shoppers. While Woolworth paid premium rents for small downtown storefronts, Walmart owned sprawling properties where land was cheap. The second warning sign was scale. Walmart stores averaged 50,000 to 100,000 square feet, massive compared to Woolworth's typical 10,000 square foot locations. This size advantage allowed Walmart to stock 50,000 to 100,000 different products versus Woolworth's 5,000 items. Customers could buy groceries, clothing, hardware, electronics, and toys all in one trip. Woolworth, constrained by its small urban stores, couldn't compete with this selection. Perhaps most critically, Walmart invested heavily in technology while Woolworth clung to outdated systems. In 1983, Walmart implemented a revolutionary computerized inventory system that tracked every item in every store. This allowed Walmart to reduce waste, identify trending products instantly, and negotiate better prices with suppliers by showing real sales data. Woolworth, meanwhile, still relied largely on manual inventory counts and paper records. Some Woolworth stores in the early 1990s were still using the same accounting practices from the 1960s. The financial impact became visible in the late 1980s. In 1989, Walmart's revenue hit $25.8 billion, while Woolworth had fallen to $7.9 billion. More importantly, Walmart's profit margin was nearly double Woolworth's. Walmart could sell the same products cheaper and still make more money per item because of its efficient operations. Woolworth's management recognized these problems. Board meeting minutes from 1985 show executives discussing the Walmart threat, but their response was tragically inadequate. Instead of fundamentally restructuring, Woolworth tried minor fixes, updating store displays, expanding product lines within their small spaces, and launching ineffective advertising campaigns. They were trying to win a car race while riding a horse. But here's the crucial question we're investigating. Were these problems caused by Walmart's competition, or would Woolworth have faced them regardless? To answer that, we need to examine the critical moment when everything fell apart. The 1990s were supposed to be Woolworth's comeback decade. Instead, they became the company's death march. During these 10 years, the evidence for whether Walmart killed Woolworth becomes most compelling and most complicated. In 1993, Woolworth made a desperate gamble. The company announced it would close 400 underperforming stores and rebrand the remaining locations as Woolworth Express, smaller, hipper stores targeting urban shoppers and tourists. The company invested $100 million in renovations, new signage, and updated merchandise. Management believed they could differentiate from Walmart by focusing on convenience and impulse purchases rather than competing on price. The strategy failed spectacularly. By 1994, same-store sales had dropped 7.5%. The rebranded stores confused loyal customers who expected the traditional five and dime experience, while younger shoppers simply didn't see the appeal. Meanwhile, Walmart's revenue had hit $67 billion, nearly 10 times Woolworth's entire revenue. Walmart now operated 2,400 stores, had surpassed Woolworth's store count, and was opening a new location every 2 days. But here's where the story gets interesting. Walmart wasn't Woolworth's only problem. Target, Kmart, and regional discounters like Ames and Caldor were also expanding aggressively. The entire discount retail sector was booming, and all these competitors were building suburban big-box stores with the same advantages as Walmart: huge selection, low prices, efficient operations, and convenient parking. In 1994, Woolworth posted a $495 million loss, one of the worst years in the company's history. The stock price collapsed from $18 per share to $4. Creditors began demanding immediate repayment of loans. Store managers reported that merchandise deliveries were being delayed because suppliers didn't trust Woolworth to pay its bills. The board of directors brought in a new CEO, Roger Farah, in 1994 with a mandate to save the company. Farah conducted a brutal analysis and delivered shocking news. The Woolworth variety store business was unsalvageable. The economics simply didn't work anymore. Each store was losing an average of $200,000 per year. Even the best-performing locations were barely profitable. Farah proposed a radical solution: shut down every single Woolworth five-and-dime store in America and focus entirely on the company's profitable specialty retail divisions like Foot Locker, Lady Foot Locker, and Champs Sports. These athletic footwear chains were actually thriving, operating in malls and shopping centers with strong profit margins. The board initially rejected this plan. Closing all Woolworth stores meant admitting defeat and abandoning the company's 115-year legacy. But by 1997, with losses mounting to nearly $2 million per day, they had no choice. On July 17, 1997, Woolworth announced it would close all remaining 400 five-and-dime stores. The red signs that had defined American main streets for over a century would be gone within months. When Woolworth closed its last American store on July 17, 1997, the financial devastation was staggering. But who exactly lost money, and how much? Understanding the victims helps us answer whether Walmart killed Woolworth or if the collapse was inevitable. The most obvious victims were Woolworth shareholders. The company's stock, which had traded at $40 per share in 1989, was worth just $8 when the closure was announced. Investors who'd held Woolworth stock throughout the 1990s lost roughly 80% of their investment. Pension funds and retirement accounts that had considered Woolworth a safe, stable blue-chip investment saw billions in value evaporate. The total shareholder value destroyed between 1989 and 1997 is estimated at approximately $1.2 billion. But the financial carnage extended far beyond Wall Street. Woolworth employed approximately 20,000 workers in its American five-and-dime stores when the closure was announced. Most were hourly retail employees earning modest wages. While the company offered severance packages, many employees, particularly older workers who'd spent entire careers at Woolworth, struggled to find comparable employment. Some had worked for Woolworth for 30 or 40 years, expecting to retire from the company. They lost not just jobs, but their sense of identity and financial security. The real estate impact was equally devastating. Woolworth had leased storefronts in over 400 downtown locations across America. When the company abandoned these leases, it left gaping holes in struggling Main Street business districts. Many of these buildings remained vacant for years, or even decades, because the spaces were configured for outdated retail concepts. Landlords lost millions in rental income. Some downtown areas never recovered, accelerating urban decay in small American cities. Suppliers faced massive losses too. Hundreds of manufacturers who'd supplied Woolworth for generations suddenly lost a major customer. Some small suppliers, particularly those who'd specialized in five-and-dime merchandise, went bankrupt themselves. The ripple effects hit factories, warehouses, and distribution companies throughout the supply chain. Now here's the critical question. Can we directly attribute these losses to Walmart? The evidence is mixed. Walmart certainly captured market share that might have gone to Woolworth. By 1997, Walmart's revenue was $105 billion, about 15 times what Woolworth's variety stores had generated at their peak. Walmart employed 675,000 people, many in communities where Woolworth stores had closed. But other discount retailers were also thriving. Target's revenue hit $20 billion in 1997. Kmart operated 2,100 stores. Dollar General and Family Dollar, discount chains that actually resembled Woolworth's five-and-dime concept more than Walmart did, were rapidly expanding. The entire retail landscape had shifted, not just because of one competitor. The victims of Woolworth's collapse lost money to a changing economy, not necessarily to a single corporate villain. This distinction matters as we try to answer our central question: did Walmart kill Woolworth? In the aftermath of Woolworth's closure, something fascinating happened that sheds light on our central question. The Woolworth Corporation didn't actually die. It transformed. And this transformation reveals crucial evidence about whether Walmart was truly the killer. After closing all five-and-dime stores, Woolworth Corporation renamed itself Venator Group in 1998, focusing exclusively on its athletic footwear chains: Foot Locker, Lady Foot Locker, Champs Sports, and Eastbay. Within 3 years, Venator was profitable again. By 2001, the company changed its name to Foot Locker, Inc., and today it operates over 3,000 stores worldwide with annual revenue exceeding $8 billion. The company that died in 1997 is actually still alive and successful, just in a completely different business. This survival raises a critical point. Woolworth's variety store concept failed, but the corporation's ability to operate retail stores did not. Foot Locker stores often operated in the same malls as Walmart supercenters. They competed successfully because they offered specialized expertise in athletic footwear, knowledgeable staff, and a curated selection that Walmart couldn't match. If Walmart was truly a retail killing machine that destroyed all competitors, Foot Locker shouldn't have survived. Meanwhile, other variety store concepts also collapsed during the same period. Kmart, which had over 2,100 stores in 1997, filed for bankruptcy in 2002. Ames department stores closed all 327 locations in 2002. Montgomery Ward, founded in 1872, shut down completely in 2001. Calder closed all 145 stores in 1999. The entire mid-market variety store segment was being wiped out. But here's what's interesting. Dollar stores exploded during the same period. Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and Family Dollar, which actually operated on a business model very similar to Woolworth's original five and dime concept, thrived. By 2000, these chains operated over 10,000 stores combined. They succeeded by doing what Woolworth failed to do, locating in strip malls and suburbs, keeping overhead costs minimal, and ruthlessly focusing on operational efficiency. The evidence suggests that Walmart didn't kill Woolworth. Changing consumer behavior did. Americans no longer wanted to shop on downtown main streets in small stores with limited selection. They wanted one-stop shopping in suburban locations with massive parking lots. Walmart capitalized on this shift brilliantly, but they didn't create it. Consider this. Walmart's core customer in the 1990s was a suburban family doing weekly stock-up shopping, buying groceries, clothing, and household goods in bulk. Woolworth's core customer had been an urban shopper making frequent small purchases. These were fundamentally different customers with different needs. Walmart didn't steal Woolworth's customers. Woolworth's customers had already moved to the suburbs and changed their shopping habits before Walmart became dominant. So, did Walmart kill Woolworth? After examining all the evidence, the answer is more nuanced than a simple yes or no. Walmart accelerated Woolworth's decline and made it impossible for Woolworth to compete using its traditional model. But Woolworth's fate was sealed by its own failure to adapt to massive economic and demographic changes that would have occurred with or without Walmart. The real killer was strategic paralysis. Woolworth's management saw the warning signs throughout the 1980s but responded with incremental changes when revolutionary transformation was needed. They tried to preserve a business model that had become obsolete rather than embracing painful but necessary reinvention. By the time leadership finally accepted reality in 1997, it was far too late. Here are the practical lessons this collapse offers. First, location is destiny in retail. Woolworth's downtown Main Street locations became worthless when American shopping moved to suburbs. Today's retailers face a similar challenge with e-commerce. Physical stores in premium locations may become liabilities if shopping continues shifting online. The lesson: don't let real estate strategy lock you into a dying distribution channel. Second, technological investment isn't optional, it's existential. Walmart's computerized inventory systems gave them an insurmountable advantage that Woolworth never closed. Today, companies that lag in digital transformation, data analytics, or automation face the same fate. The lesson: technology spending isn't a cost center, it's a survival requirement. Third, scale matters more than legacy. Woolworth's 15-year history and iconic brand meant nothing when Walmart could offer better prices, selection, and convenience. Customers have no loyalty to companies that don't serve their current needs. The lesson: your past success is worthless if your current model doesn't work. Fourth, knowing you have a problem isn't the same as fixing it. Woolworth's management knew about the Walmart threat for over a decade but couldn't bring themselves to make radical changes until bankruptcy loomed. The lesson: identify existential threats early and act decisively, even if it means abandoning your core business. The Woolworth story remains relevant today because it shows how quickly dominant companies can collapse when fundamental economics shift. Walmart didn't kill Woolworth through predatory practices or unfair competition. They simply executed a better strategy for the retail environment that America had become. Woolworth's real enemy was nostalgia, a refusal to accept that the world had changed and that the five and dime concept, no matter how beloved, could not survive in suburban, automobile-dependent, price-conscious modern America. If stories like this, where we uncover the economic events that shaped our world while most people weren't paying attention, fascinate you, please like this video and subscribe to the channel, because we're just getting started with these financial, educational mysteries.